There's a ton of luxury, expensive makeup on the market, and some of it's worth it, some of it is not. I'm here to round up the items that I think are totally worth your money as far as luxury makeup goes. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki LaRose, and before I show you the items that I think are worth the money and the investment as far as luxury products go, give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let's get into the products that I think are well worth your pennies. The first ones I'm going to talk about are ones that I use religiously in my professional makeup kit and on myself. You see me use this one in particular all the time. It's the Givenchy Prisme Libre powders. These are incredible powders. They're so finely milled. They're so unique. And the way they sit on your skin, really, truly, I'm not even exaggerating, is like nothing else. These will make skin texture disappear. These are incredible for oil control. They're incredibly smoothing. So whether you have oily skin, mature skin, dry skin, I use these powders literally on every single person that I come across in my profession. So as a makeup artist, I work on all kinds of different ages, skin tones, skin types, you name it. I work on everyone, and these powders they never leave my kit, basically. I keep 4 of them in my professional makeup kit. I have the number 3, which is more of a rose tone, has more of like a pink hue to it, like a visibly pink hue to it. If you know me and you watch my Instagram reels or you watch my YouTube tutorials, you know that I love this powder, especially under my eyes. So this is just a must for me personally in my day-to-day life, but also in my makeup kit. This is just so stunning to set the under eyes since it does have that pink hue. And I won't get into too much detail because I have talked about this powder in particular so much on my channel, so I don't want to bore you. But this pink hue, it does something incredible under the eye. So if you have my skin tone or a little bit lighter or a little bit deeper, you can use this under your eyes. And since it has that pink, it's going to help to really brighten and color correct your under eyes. So this one in particular is an absolute must. Now, the rest of these are a must to me as well. So as a makeup artist, I find myself grabbing number 6, number 5, which are just deeper skin tones, but you can also use these in the same way that you would use this one, just on a deeper skin tone. And then number 4. Number 4 is like, it's kind of like the overall translucent powder that almost everybody can use. Now, this one I'll use on anyone from super fair to about medium dark-ish. But the rest of these are for my medium dark to deep and rich skin tones. These are my must-haves for those. But these powders are a game changer. They really are. And they're powders that I snubbed for a really long time. Like I would walk by them in Sephora and I was like, oh, like what do I need these 4 colors for? Like that's so gimmicky, whatever. I like totally wrote them off. And then lo and behold, the brand sent me these. So I was lucky enough to receive all these in PR, just as a full disclaimer. So I did not actually purchase these, but don't be mistaken. When I run out of these powders, I will be going and purchasing them right away to restock my kit and to restock my personal ones as well that I love. These retail for $58, which is really not crazy expensive, to be totally honest. It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. But for Givenchy, you know, it's a very, very high-end luxury makeup brand. It's not the worst it could be, because let me tell you, the next couple items are when it gets bad. Now, the next products I want to talk about, I was actually really hesitant to talk about because I fought long and hard not to love these products. And I'm just going to be completely honest. And the reason for that is because I think these price tags are ridiculous. I really do. I still stand by that. But every time I use these, they're so good that I can't deny it. Like the price tag sucks. This is $75. And I actually don't talk about it that often for that reason, because I don't want people to think like, wow, really? You're gonna push a $75 highlighter on us? Like that's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous, trust me. But I bit the bullet. I bought this. Westman Atelier, I am not on their PR list. They don't send me anything. So everything I have from Westman Atelier, I have purchased out of pocket. And I get such joy when I use these. I'm not gonna lie. So this one in particular, I'll make sure I include a swatch of what it looks like. There's a couple different shades in this highlighter. I have the Powder Rosé. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. It's basically a beautiful like rose gold, very light pink highlighter. This is so stunning. It's ridiculous. I use this on the eyes. I'll use this in the center of the lips for a little pop of something. I'll use this as a really natural, just incredibly glowy blush, but I'll also layer this on top of blushes. I'll put it underneath. I'll put it underneath my foundation so I get a glow from within type look. This is just phenomenal. It's $75, but I will say you get what you pay for in terms of the formula. The formula is really phenomenal. It really is above and beyond so many cream highlighters that I've ever used. And I've used every single cream highlighter I think I've ever come across. Now, the other thing too, and not that packaging matters too much, but when you're spending $75 for something, you want it to feel like it's 75 bucks. This actually feels like it's $75. This is like a paperweight. It's so heavy. Great packaging, incredible formula. Same thing goes for the blush. The packaging is whatever on the blush. It is magnetized, which is pretty cool. Like you can drop the lid back on it. It's magnetized. It is a cream blush, which, you know, nothing groundbreaking. There's a million incredible cream blushes on the market, but I find that I grab this one and a couple other shades from this brand out of my makeup kit to use on my clients probably 8 times out of 10. So this is a must. I love the formula. I know how it's going to wear. It glides on amazing. Now onto the price. This is $48 for a cream blush. Yeah, that's outrageous. Definitely crazy prices. And what's funny is, you know, Westman Atelier, it's not technically a luxury brand, right? Like it's not like a YSL, it's not like Armani, it's not Dior, it's not Givenchy, but they sure have those luxury prices, that is for sure. But, you know, after lots of trying and playing with it, I have come to the conclusion that it is worth the price tag. The next item that I think is worth the luxury price tag that it comes with are these palettes in particular from Hourglass Cosmetics. I've used these for the last 10 years in my professional makeup kit. Well, not this one, because they only, back in the day when I first started using this palette, they only had one color, which, you know, shame on you, Hourglass, for doing that and for waiting years and literally years and years to come out with 2 other shades in this range. So I have the other 2 shades. The other one is tucked away in my makeup kit, so I just pulled out this other one right now. This one I've used and abused for years, and I should probably get a new one. I just haven't really buckled down to buying a new one because they are so pricey. But the reason why I want to talk about these is because not only do you get 3 colors in these palettes, you get a light, a medium, and a dark. So depending on like the look that you're going for, you can use these for a multitude of ways. You can use them as a highlighter, as a transitional shade. You can use them as a very neutral, soft wash of a blush. You can use them as bronzer, etc. The world is your oyster with these. They're so beautiful. Now, the reason why this is worth the price tag of $69, in my opinion, is because you get 3 different tones in this one palette. So it gives you like a good range of ways to just play with it and get your money's worth. And the colors and the way they perform on your skin are just like nothing else. Like I've tried to find powders that I think are a dupe for these. There's really not much out there like these. These are phenomenal formulas. So are they pricey? Absolutely. But if you do bite the bullet and you buy these, I think they're just so worth the money. And I think that every time you use them, I mean, just in my personal experience, every time I use these, I'm like, oh, wow. These are phenomenal. Like these earn that price tag of $69. If you're looking to get a beautiful overall face palette that's going to give you like this light reflecting quality and give your skin this beautiful like airbrushed type look, while also giving you some warmth and some bronze and some highlighting at the same time, these just do everything. These cover like all those descriptives I just said. So these are definitely worth it. The next item on my list is incredibly beat up, and I do need to purchase a new one for my makeup kit very soon because this one is almost completely out. But this is the Shade and Illuminate palette from Tom Ford. Now this one in particular is Intensity 1, but there's 2 other shades that you could choose from this collection. These are $89. So needless to say, that's the reason why I haven't gone out and like just willingly replenished this in my makeup kit, because oh my God, I'm trying to like scrape the sides and scrape the barrel essentially and use every last drop of this because it's $89 is a lot. Round it up, it's $100 out the door. Like you're gonna walk out of Sephora or Nordstrom, wherever you're gonna buy it, Bloomingdale's, and it's gonna be $100. You're paying for the quality of the formula. The formula is just beautiful. Like I have every cream bronzer on the market. Like, you know me, if there's a cream bronzer, I will try it and I've used it. This is literally something that I grab in my makeup kit as a makeup artist every single time I do makeup, every single time. So that just says a lot to me. I know how it's gonna wear. I know how easy it's gonna blend. The highlighter is one of the most underrated highlighters, I think, in the history of makeup. Not gonna lie, because I feel like everyone buys this, but they don't use the highlighter up top, which is this. They just use the cream bronzer because they don't think, or they don't know how to really use this, or at least that's what the general consensus is. I've heard this from a ton of different people that they don't really know how to use that. They're kind of like, meh, whatever. It's kind of like a weird highlighter. No, this is a magical highlighter. If you want a glass skin look, you need this. I've gotten my money's worth. Clearly, as you saw, I'm literally scraping the sides of that product, and I will definitely be investing in more. These are definitely worth the money. And if you're looking to buy like a luxury, high performing, beautiful cream product, this is it. Moving on to something that is literally half the price. This is the Dior highlighter. This is only 45 bucks. And it's funny because Dior has really, in reality, some good deals. And I say that with a grain of salt. But when you really think about it, this is Dior. Dior is luxury. And for their palette to have 4 different shades, incredible formula, incredible color payoff, beautiful, like wet, glossy, expensive looking shimmer finish. So 4 colors for $45, and you get a decent amount of each one. Like, I've been using this and using it, and I have not yet come close to getting to the pan. $45 for a Dior high-end luxury highlighter is a steal. Now, while I'm on the subject of Dior, I want to talk about the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. High-end, luxury, it feels incredible on your skin. This is super comparable to the armaniluminoussilk, gives you the same kind of radiant finish, feels exactly the same on your skin, to be quite honest. This also reminds me a lot of the Very Valentino foundation, which I'm about to show you in a second because it's right over here and it's on this list. But it's just a beautiful foundation, and I think it's at a great price, especially being a luxury item. So if you're looking for maybe like a slightly more affordable, glowy, luxury foundation, I definitely think this is the one to check out. Now, while we're still on the subject of luxury foundations, let's talk about 2 of the most expensive ones on the market. This one is $67 and this one is $68. So you all know I love the luminous silk from Armani, but man, it's a rip off. It is just, it's so expensive. But as I say it's a ripoff, I'm totally going to contradict myself and tell you that it's worth the price tag, because it is. So yes, I'm going to contradict myself. It's definitely worth the $69. Every time I buy this for my professional makeup kit, it hurts my soul because it's very expensive. And Armani does not send me PR. So like every time if you ever saw my makeup kit as a professional, it's stocked with Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. So I buy these all the time because I know how it's going to wear on my client's skin. I know how it's going to photograph, how it's going to look on video, how it's going to wear throughout the day, and how it's going to react on most of my clients' skin. I like this foundation for most of my skin types that I work with, including oily skin. So if I have a client who has really oily skin, I can still use this. I will take that time to utilize a good smoothing or mattifying primer, and then of course I will lock it down with powder. But there's just really nothing like this foundation. So yeah, it's $69, but if you're looking for I would say the top notch of luxury foundations, if you want to try the best one, honestly, that money can buy you, I really do think this is it. Now, I thought about talking about La Mer. Their foundation is stunning. It's beautiful. But I really couldn't justify putting it in this category because I think this is just as good, and it's about $50 or no, it's like $60 cheaper than the La Mer. So for that reason, I didn't want to bring it up, but here I am bringing it up. Anyway, this is definitely worth the money. And if you're, like I said, if you're looking for a good luxury foundation, like a holy grail, this is definitely it. Now, a new holy grail as far as luxury foundations go that I just discovered back in October is the Very Valentino foundation. This is actually $2 cheaper than the Armani Luminous Silk, and I think it is just a stellar formula. This is just gorgeous. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, why aren't you talking about the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech foundation that we know you love? I'm not talking about it because it's not a luxury. It's not considered a luxury makeup brand. Now, if I were talking about my favorite foundations, that would be in the list with these. But this one, definitely worth a shot. It gives you a beautiful, very, very glowy finish, but it's also very long lasting. So It's a long-lasting glowy finish that you don't need to wear with a primer. You should definitely set it with a powder to keep it like locked into place. But I have worn this for some of my longest days on set and it's really stayed put beautifully. Definitely worth checking out. And if you're someone who's tried either of these formulas and you're running out and you want to just try something new in like the luxury market, give this one a shot because I guarantee you, you will love it. Now this next item I was hesitant to talk about because I do feel like they're a little bit on the border of being luxury and just being like more like a regular brand like NARS, for example. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powders. But the reason why I wanted to bring these up and I wanted to include them in this video is because I get asked so often on Instagram, specifically in my DMs, I get asked all the time if I really do recommend these powders and like why I recommend them and really are they worth it. Now, to be honest, they're so worth it. They just are. I've talked about these in so many videos. I use them all the time. These are powders that never leave my professional makeup kit. And when I run out, I don't skip a beat. I will replenish these like right away. I can't snap to save my life, but I replenish these like right away. Now these are $46 each, which is not crazy at all. I mean, especially like considering like how much the rest of these products were that I just talked about. But they are just a pressed powder. So with that price tag, it does feel like it's like hard to stomach. But these just look so good. There's nothing like them. They're so amazing. They definitely feel incredible on your skin. They just do everything that you need. Now, I don't think that these are the most incredible for oil control. I will just say that. So if you're someone who has extremely oily skin and you're looking to get a pressed powder that's going to contain that and really give you like that absorption, don't look at these. Look at these more like a finishing powder that are going to smooth your skin, give you excellent skin texture, diminish fine lines, give you an overall airbrush type finish to your skin and to your makeup. Now these do have a little bit of pigment to them, so they come in different colors. There's 4 different shades. I have 3 of them in my hands right now, but they're just an overall a beautiful and really well formulated powder that I think suits so many different skin types. This is also one of the only pressed powders, actually it is the only pressed powder that I use on mature or super dry skin because it works beautifully on that type of skin. And I know it's going to wear great throughout the day and it's going to perform excellent throughout the day. And it's also good for touch-ups as well, depending on like how you touch up. I like to touch up with like a little small powder brush and just kind of buff around like fine lines and those kind of areas. It's just an all-around phenomenal formula, and since I get asked all the time, I want to include it in these luxury products that I think are definitely worth your pennies. Hold on to your seat, okay? Hold on to your seat and don't judge me. This might be an outlandish one and I might get just, you might be upset over this one because, and I understand, but hold on. These are just highlighting powders. You know, there's a ton of different powder highlighters on the market, but these are from Clé de Peau. I received these for free from the brand. I went to an event for Clé de Peau and they were extremely generous. They gave me a whole bunch of products, including lipsticks and these. At first glance, when I looked at these, I thought, oh, these are really pretty, because they are. They're really pretty. It's a beautiful mosaic of different tones and different shimmers and different shimmery finishes. So for example, there's shimmers in here that are like really fine, really smooth looking and like pearlized, like a pearlescent shimmer. And then there's chunkier shimmers that are mixed in this like mosaic pattern. When I first saw these, I thought, oh, these are just beautiful. They're probably gimmicky. They're not going to be like out of this world, you know, incredible highlighters. No, I have them on now and I've used them in a couple tutorials. These highlighters are so special. They really are. Now here is the bad news. These are $95 each. Now, listen, I didn't make the rules. I just happened to come upon these and I've completely fallen in love with these. And I really hesitated to include these in this category of luxury items that are worth your money. But let me just say this without anyone getting too upset. If you're gonna go for it for a highlighter, like you're gonna really go for it. Like you want a highlighter that's like you're gonna see it from across the street. Like your neighbors a mile away are gonna see this highlighter. If you're looking for that kind of highlighter in a powder that's easy to blend, that doesn't look chalky, that doesn't look patchy, that just gives you everything you're looking for, oh man, if you want to spend that $95, these will not disappoint you. I just hate to say it. So with that said, are they worth it? Well, it just depends. It depends on like what's worth it to you. Now, the way I justify it is they all those things I just listed, they perform beautifully. They look incredible on the skin. The packaging is out of this world. Stunning. So if you care about packaging, then you're going to really appreciate this packaging because it's to die for. But formula-wise, I think it's worth it because of the way it looks on your skin. It's just kind of like nothing else. For that reason, I include it in this video. But if you want to spend half the amount and still get an insanely stunning powder highlighter, then go for this one instead. Now, the last item on my list of luxury products that I think are really worth the price tag, the hefty price tag, is this setting spray from Hourglass Cosmetics. Now, most setting sprays average about $30, $35, I'd say at the most. So this one is $49. Now, most setting sprays average about $28 to $35, like just roughly. So I know this is much, much more expensive than you're probably used to paying for a setting spray. And trust me, I felt the same exact way. And every time I run out of this, I'm like a little like, it's like painful to repurchase it for my makeup kit and for myself. But every time I do, I'm always so happy because the way this sets my makeup is like no other. And, you know, setting sprays, they're pretty much all alike, to be quite honest. Like, in my opinion, I feel like majority of them are going to have a lot of the same ingredients and they're going to feel the same way on your skin. They're going to perform the same way. What sets this apart is how it doesn't disrupt your makeup, your beautifully blended, beautifully set and applied makeup by spraying it on top of that. It does not disrupt it in any way, shape, or form. Now, I say that and I say that it's important because take like the all-nighter from Urban Decay, for example. That sprayer, if you don't prep it, you risk having like blobs, like literal like blobs of that setting spray hit your face and leave patches, like visible patches on your makeup. It's a big deal. And especially for me as a makeup artist, the last thing, what really is like what nightmares are made of with makeup is when you go to set your client's face that you spent an hour plus perfecting and making sure it's perfectly set and blended and she's ready to go hit the red carpet and take photos, and you go and you set them with a spray and that spray leaves like a blob on their cheek. What do? Well, there's not much. There's really not much. It's really difficult to fix that because it's water based and it's going to just lift up that makeup that's underneath. So the reason why I think this is worth the price tag, this may go mainly for like professional makeup artists, but if you're just someone who wants your makeup to not be disrupted with your setting spray and you want to like avoid that risk at all costs, then I definitely think this is worth splurging and spending the money on. I know it's expensive, but the sprayer on this is really like no other. It's a super fine mist that doesn't assault your face. It does not disrupt your makeup. It won't do any of those things that some common makeup setting sprays can do. So for that alone, I think it's absolutely worth the price tag. Yeah, it's hefty, but I will tell you too, just as a side note, every time I spray my client's face with this, they're always like, oh, like that was so nice. Will you spray me again? Whereas if I do like, I hate to say it, but like the Urban Decay All-Nighter or a couple other ones that I have that I've used in my makeup kit, like some from MAC especially, that sprayer is like, when you, there's nothing worse, just one more story. As a makeup artist, when you see your client go like this, like if they're doing that and they're like afraid and they're like feeling like, oh, like scared of that setting spray, then we got problems. And it's worth it to just avoid that and get this one because you won't have that problem. And the formula is just superb. So that wraps up this video of all the luxury makeup products that I believe are worth the price tag, as hefty as they can be. Now, if there's any products you're wondering why I didn't mention this video, or if you feel like I missed, trust me, I probably thought of them. I just probably deemed them as not being worth the price tag. So I hope that clears anything up in case you think that I'm missing anything, because I know I'm missing a lot of luxury makeup in this video. Leave me a comment and let me know if you agree with any of these products and if you do believe that they're worth the price tag, or, you know, tell me if you think otherwise. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you like videos like this, make sure you click on this one right here, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.